Good evening. It is Friday, January 29th, 2021. In the early part of his ministry, Jesus was usually treated well. He gathered crowds, lots of people were attracted to hear him, and came to hear him hoping to see one of the healings or some other kind of miracle. There was one significant exception. In Mark chapter 6, verses 1 to 6, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation, second edition, it records when Jesus went back to Nazareth. Jesus left that part of the country and returned with his disciples to Nazareth, his hometown. The next Sabbath, he began teaching in the synagogue, and many who heard him were amazed. They asked, "Where did he get all this wisdom and the power to perform such miracles?" Then they scoffed. "He's just a carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon. And his sisters live right here among us." They were deeply offended and refused to believe in him. Then Jesus told him, "A prophet is honored everywhere except in his own hometown and among his relatives and his own family." And because of their unbelief, he couldn't do any miracles among them, except to place his hands on a few sick people and heal them. And he was amazed at their unbelief. These folks recognized two things about Jesus: that he taught with tremendous wisdom, and that he manifested supernatural power to perform miracles. But their amazement was instantly followed by a skepticism that disallowed the possibility of Jesus being anything special, because they knew his family. He was a carpenter. They knew his brothers and his sisters and his mother. The phrase, "they were deeply offended," was used. What were they offended at? It was the idea that God could use someone like them, but not them, or picking them first, or at least getting their permission to use someone they knew. How arrogant do you have to be to think that you can tell God how to run the universe? Jesus' response was to limit the amount and kind of miracles he performed in their presence. Their lack of faith interrupted the good things that God had planned to bring them. That's a sobering thought. We often do not examine our unbelief. Another phrase for unbelief is lack of faith. The people of Nazareth had some faith. They just lacked faith for their here, and they lacked faith for their now. We believe God is a God of miracle working power, that God answers prayer in the abstract. But we struggle sometimes with the idea that God wants to work miracles and answer prayer in our right here and right now. We somehow believe that our situation is outside the realm of God's power or God's caring. If we do not get an instant answer in 10 minutes, we somehow generalize that into a lack of faith for God to be able to work at all. There's an old story told about a little country church during the Dust Bowl days in Oklahoma. The farmers in the church had all lost crops. Foreclosures were on the horizon. The air was dry and the winds were blowing. The church announced they were going to have prayer meetings each night until it rained. At the second prayer meeting, a little girl about 9 years old came to the meeting carrying an umbrella. Some of the adults made fun of the little girl for bringing an umbrella when it was obviously so dry outside, not a cloud in the sky. The little girl's response was legendary. She looked up at the sneering and jeering adults and said, "When I ask my God for something, he answers. We're asking the God who made the heavens for rain." Let us not be Nazareth. Let us be like the father with the demon-possessed boy who said in Mark 9:24, "I do believe, but help me overcome my unbelief." May we turn our unbelief into a working faith that trusts God for our right here and our right now. God bless you.